Here.
Bob Garrett.
Here.
John Hofer.
Here.
Tim Horner. Keith Jackson.
Here.
Matt Lacy.
Here.
Tom Rush.
Here.
Dan Wynn.
Here. All right, folks, looks like we got a quorum, we're ready to move forward. First order of business is public comment. Anyone got something they'd like to share with the board this morning? Well, it's hot. First day of early voting started this morning, I guess. Bill, did anybody show up at the courthouse?
They're getting prepared for them. I'm not sure if they're ready to come yet.
If you want to be tested for COVID, just go downstairs and just get under the tent, we'll take care of you, so. All right, in your packet, the minutes from the last meeting, what's your pleasure, any corrections or additions?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Motion and second to approve, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, minutes stand as approved. Financial report, Amy?
Okay, the June financials were sent out, just a couple of items. First of all, these are preliminary, of course, they don't have the final adjustments for, the OPEB and TCRS adjustments. Also, the capital expenditures are still included in expense just for presentation purposes. Before they're presented to the auditors, we will make that adjustment and record any additional depreciation and make those adjustments. But as it stands for the year, we're at a net increase of just over $507,000. So if there's any questions on that, I'll be happy to answer those. And you all should have received, just after our last meeting, the budget with the changes that were discussed during that meeting, and I'll be happy to answer any questions on that as well.
Anybody got something for Amy? Tom, anything significant going on with their investment portfolio?
And interest rates continue to make a landslide downhill. The rate on the LGIP is 0.38.
It's time to borrow, not to hold, I guess.
Exactly.
All right, any other general comments, questions on finances? Not, Dan?
Our rotation with our annual PDEC inspectors happened this month. We've got a new inspector, which we've had before, Paul Plon. We had a very good inspection. We've done a lot of the slope work, a lot of mulch work, trying to get grass and stuff. It's looking really nice out there. She was very pleased with no violations.
Okay, that's always a good sign. Anything else? Questions or comments for Dan? Well, Mr. Bostic did want to join us. I think we're all pleased that, given the circumstances, he chose to stay home. So,
Yeah, it's probably the right move.
what have you got for us from engineering?
The monthly off-site gas monitoring was conducted as part of the second quarter gas landfill monitoring report. And due to COVID-19, no private residents were monitored. We prepared the language for the access to the adjacent property for the well and gas monitoring and probe installations. And we responded to the EPA comments on the EGGRT annual report and completed the leachate slug control plan for the submittal to MUS. We prepared and submitted the second quarter landfill gas monitoring report to TDEC. And regarding the landfill Class 1 Phase 2 closure, we expect substantial completion by November 18th of 2020, with final completion by December 18th, 2020, and the contractor indicates that he will be beginning construction next week. And on the second page of what I've handed out, for the landfill extension, prepared preliminary layout assuming the blasting of rock. And this would extend the life of the landfill by 15 to 16 years, and you can see the attached costs. The large cost of the rock excavation was provided by a local contractor. That's all I got.
Any questions on that? the subcommittee we've got looking at the expansion, basically, I think y'all are waiting for the answer on whether or not we can blast before we can make a decision, is that right? Anything else we can share or should talk about with regard to making a decision on go, no go on the expansion beyond that?
After talking, I talked with Steve one day this week about that blasting. And it's not gonna be easy getting an answer from them, is it? On the
No.
blasting.
Doesn't
Can we
seem-
go ahead and then prepare everything else and address that as we go along?
Yeah, I mean, you could, I mean, I don't think that it'll be an ongoing thing, I mean, you could address all that, you know, and go ahead. But he seems pretty, last I talked to him about it, I mean, it seems like you could get it as long as you don't, if the blasting occurs outwardly, it doesn't seem to affect anything downwardly.
Well, we're going, my understanding, we're going ahead with the expansion with or without the authorization to blast. So
Yeah.
if we go ahead with it, he indicated maybe that, well, if we get the blasting, that's good, we get a lot more
Yes,
volume. If we don't, then we don't.
yes.
Does the approval to blast come from the region or does that have to come from Nashville?
Nashville.
Okay. Well, that slows things down considerably, just going to Nashville, so.
Yeah.
All right, anything else on engineering or projects?
So we're still waiting on that decision.
Yes.
Do we have to submit a plan before we get a decision? A blasting plan?
Yes, I think Steve's already working on that as far as once we haven't submitted it yet, but once this is all gets approved, we'd start the process locally. They'd approve it, go to Nashville, and then that's when the back and forth starts to begin. But like he's saying, that we could start proceeding onward, and if we do manage to get it, it would expand our landfill capacity.
Okay, a couple of items of unfinished business from last month. During the budget deliberations, we debated about the car allowance versus take-home vehicle. There've been some ongoing discussions since then about record keeping and policies and so forth. Dan, you got a different thought that you want to bring to the floor today
Do I want to, sorry.
about the car? Car versus allowance.
Car versus allowance, the allowance would be a whole lot better than not being able to take the vehicle. It actually saves time, since I can't take the vehicle. I'm waiting in line 45 minutes at the bank, at minimum usually. The biggest thing about the car allowance, why I wanted to drive the truck, was because of the tire situation. When T-Deck or visitors came on site, I felt that I had to drive my personal vehicle into the landfill. And tires are too expensive to drive a vehicle into the landfill, my personal landfill.
If you did not have to drive your truck up on the site and drove the truck out there, would that?
I'd be fine with that vehicle.
I suggest we do that.
Yeah, I did a couple things. I think driving our vehicles into the face of the landfill is not an unreasonable thing to do. The records we had, your claim of 17,000 miles don't seem to be borne up by the short-term records we've got so far. It's closer to under half of that. But your request is to reinstate the car allowance of $650, and the land use vehicle will not be used as a take-home vehicle. Is that what I understand? That's on the floor as a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion is second. Any other comments, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amy, with regard to that, will that be a budget amendment we'll have to make to reflect that?
So we're back to where we were, correct?
Back to where we were. All right, The second issue that we kind of left hanging from last month is the issue of contracts and the ability of the director to approve contracts. You'll remember last month we approved the contract with the accounting firm because, Dan, you said that you didn't feel you had the authority to execute that contract.
That's correct.
So we have numerous other contracts that we have with outside agencies that probably need to be treated in a similar manner. Kind of where do we stand on that, and how are we gonna get through those to make sure we keep business operating?
Let's see, the insurance is due, and which we have that contract with, it's pretty large. Whether it's $90-some thousand, I believe, is what it is, I guess you've seen for a couple days.
But you got a contract with a broker, and then you have a policy.
We have a policy, that's policy.
Well, you don't have a contract with the straightest broker.
No.
Have you shopped insurances? I mean, have we been straight for a long time?
I tried shopping it 2 years ago, and the guy
Nobody-
trying to get a budget number, and it didn't happen in time. He never followed up, so.
All you can do.
And then we had one new development, our software guy, not our software, our tech guy, he didn't tell us till June he was retiring. So we were kind of hanging out there without any, we're kind of on call as needed situation. And InterDigital has come up with a proposal, which we have not done anything with yet.
So we have sole proprietor software that's no longer supported.
No, he's talking about the IT
The IT
person, not the computer developer.
Networking.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's still backing it up, but he says we're going to have to make a decision before long. But backing up the information. Fairbank scales is pretty routine. It went up a little bit because we had the second scale for maintenance.
Well, I guess, Dan, instead of just going through and kind of giving us a off-the-hip report, if the board needs to approve contracts, we need to see contracts. We did that with CPA. I don't know why these other guys are different. Am I missing something?
I was told I couldn't sign any of the contracts that been in the contract work that we've done. They've always come to you. That's
Okay.
why- And after over a certain dollar, it had to be to you as well to sign the contract. That's why it was brought to my attention.
Okay, and of these 13, how many of them will need to come before the board?
InterDigital. Just InterDigital as far as I know.
What the insurance?
Well, you are. No, we got insurance. LDA was approved from the board. I didn't sign that contract.
Is it a perpetual contract, or is it got an automatic
Perpetual
renewal?
contract.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we get them all, whether they're rolling over or not, take a look at it and see what we've got? Because you can get burned not having something rolled over and not looking at it with some regularity. Why don't you give us a few of those and kind of let us know what we got? I didn't, banking services, we've got an agreement with First Tennessee, we've shopped that a couple of years ago.
Well, I think we're piggybacking off of the
Of
C.
cities.
Yes.
And that's required to be bid on some frequency now, right? So, okay. But yeah, Dan, why don't you next month get us those contracts that are too small, just a list of ones that don't need review, and get us a recommendation and contract language on the ones that do.
Will do.
All right, anything else we need to cover?
Could we get a summary of those two, when they started, when they expired, so we kind of know?
Like that Centos, it started in 2012. What is it?
And I guess if we could list those in order of expiration, because we would need to deal with those as they come up.
comments, concerns, contracts, or other issues? Folks, that's all I've got. Unless y'all want to tell stories, I think it's time to adjourn and head to the house. All right. Now, everybody go downstairs and get your COVID test, so, we can all get in line together. Pat wants to lead the way, I understand that he's gonna lead.
I've already got it.
Was it fun?
It was.
I really hadn't done that yet, so.
How long will it take to get the results back?
About 3 days.
I'll tell you what,
I mean, it was negative, so obviously I wouldn't be out, but
my wife had knee surgery about 4 weeks ago, and before the surgeon would do it, she had to have a test in hand.
yeah.
We drove to Sevierville, they indicated they would do one for $100 and have it, the result in 15 minutes. We got over there, they said, we can't guarantee, this was on Sunday and her surgery was scheduled Thursday. Long story short, she ended up having 3 and finally went to the hospital to get one to take with her. That's how hard it was to get the result.
Can I ask you a question? On the expansion committee, do we need to wait till we get some additional information from the state before we meet again, or?
Let me get with Steve on that, and have him get back to you. So I'm not sure on that.
I'd say you all need to move forward and let them.
You wait on the
Personally,
state,
you
we'll be
wait
here
on
next
them.
year this
Yeah, I
time.
mean, I didn't want to answer that, but I mean, that's my feeling, I just don't want
Are
to.
they going to approve the, do we wait on them to approve the blasting plan? I guess?
Oh, no, I think we should move forward, yeah.
You gotta,
Yeah.
I think we should seem to make like a
Yeah.
city process and deal with it.
yeah, get all our permits and everything moving,
It's gonna take a while.
and hope for the best on the blasting.
Yeah. I mean, in any case, they're gonna, TDEC's gonna, go through that process they always do.
Is it just too much rock to hammer?
Yeah, it's too much 1,700 hammer.
We've been looking at the way to take care of that enhanced
We're gonna go forward with that inspection. I think we need to look at hammer.
Do some of the work ourselves.
Do some of that hammer, some of that work. I mean, if we're gonna move forward with it, and we got the equipment out there, the manpower, I guarantee somebody can sit over and go take from one. Is that rock, moving that rock, that's where your call right there.
You do it yourself, at least you know what it costs.
You don't want to rent $222,000 a year, you pay for it.
And that's about the back worst it can have.
Yeah, but you tear one up. That's another thing. You rebuild one of them hammers, what's that
Well,
cost?
he doesn't burn.
Hammer's $100,000.
On the
Yeah, but
third,
what's rebuilding
and
one
we came
cost?
back on the night, they're not be home for a cheer meeting.
Yeah, I mean, it's
The boys
stupid
stayed
to
with
rebuild.
Susan Arthur, they came back that Friday too, so.
Oh, okay.
But, and I mean, he doesn't need them, but he don't usually see a whole lot of sound.
Same here.
Yeah, so, anyway, we did.
Sir, appreciate it.
42.
They bought the other day. He got the garden. So there's a lot of education going on.
How's the garden working?
He built in that seat, I'll give you guys.
You're getting 38.
Whatever, I was wondering, the air conditioning track. It's full rain. I would too. I would too. I would too, that's